Hello.
Hi.
Happy Saturday morning. Welcome to Warm and Cozy Quilting.
Good AM.
Oh my goodness gracious. It's going to be one of those days. I can feel it. It's in my bones, as they say.
As in a great day.
It's going to be a great day.
Everything is awesome.
Everything is awesome. Holy goodness gracious. Welcome to Warm and Cozy Quilting. I'm Jason.
I'm Victoria.
You know
You're
her.
Watching Disney Channel.
This is not Disney Channel. Behind the camera today, we have Kelly pushing the buttons. High five, Kelly. Nicely done. Loving it. I wasn't going to tell Kelly this, but I've had this conversation with Sadie, who generally does the production stuff.
Right.
We're actually going to get a camera and microphone for that side.
Yes.
So that way, when they participate in the conversation, you'll be able to hear and see them both. It's going to be fantastic.
Are you going to get one of those like fancy cameras where like anytime it makes a noise, it flips over to her?
No, that's way too much effort.
It's really not.
No.
Okay.
It's not chaotic. It gives people watching a chance to know who's involved in the conversation and to hear them better.
I think that will be so fun.
So we're looking forward to that. I didn't spring that on Kelly today because I don't think she was mentally prepared for that. So that'll be coming soon enough, but I look forward to that. So anyway, Warm and Cozy Quilting. We're here in Columbia, Illinois. If this is your first time watching, welcome. Hello, hi. Good to see you on. Normally it's myself and my lovely wife, Danielle, but she's teaching a class today. So I have my awesome daughter, Victoria, who's home from college.
Woo!
Because spring break.
Yay, spring break.
When do I get a spring break? Can somebody
go back to college?
Right, my boss.
Go back to school.
Tell her I need a spring break. Oh wait, she's teaching a class, so
yeah, she's a little busy at the moment.
Also, anyway, so today we're going to talk about batting. Boring. But I did ask AI some questions.
Oh.
I like to ask AI. You guys don't know how that goes. Ask AI, see what it says. It's slowly getting better.
Oh.
It's learning.
It's because you're asking it so many questions.
I welcome our digital overlords. Yay. It's a Lego movie reference. If you get it, you get it. If not, that's fine.
That's okay.
Anyway, as we go through all this, make sure you're saying hi and hello out there on the comments. It does help us out because it makes us realize you're still there.
I feel less lonely.
So much less lonely. Also, please, if you would, hit that share button. It's free, which means it costs you nothing. Redundant, isn't it?
Well, yes.
It is. But regardless, that helps us, which is awesome. Also, use those little reactions there at the bottom of your screen. I saw those. See, here they are.
There we go.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Again, makes us aware that you're there, and we appreciate you and all your time and efforts. If you're over on the YouTubes, hello, YouTube. Use the same subscribe button there at the bottom. Also free, also costs you nothing, and helps us out immensely.
Yes.
Thank you.
All of those things.
All those things. Also, I do believe if you click that, you can actually set it to alert you when we go.
You can.
That way you don't forget about us. Bless you.
I believe you can do that with Facebook also.
You can, but sometimes Facebook is a pain in the butt.
Well, yes.
I've had it not like to notify anymore.
Oh.
I know. Anyway, so let's talk about hello and highs to everybody that's out there. We have Jackie. Hello,
hey.
Jackie. Good to see you on. Hello, Eileen. Good to see you as well. Beautiful morning.
morning.
Yes, it is. It's really nice out there today.
It is. It's really pretty.
It's not storming. It's not snowing. It's not tornadoing.
It's
great. Not firestorming yet. Still Midwest, you. Like,
yeah.
It can happen.
It is like 10 degrees colder here than it is in Columbia, Missouri. It is. I know.
That's unfortunate. We'll do better, I hope. We'll cross our fingers and hope for the best. Good morning, 2.0. Hello. Morning. Great new fabric. Girl, you don't even know the fabric we've gotten in. Oh, my gravy. I'm going to tell you right now. So Sadie took a picture yesterday and posted it on the Facebooks.
Okay.
We weren't supposed to tell anybody.
Right.
Because one portion of the Janet's, TM, is going to do a project with it, and she didn't want anybody else to know.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately, there were other people in the store, and they found out.
Oopsies.
So, my apologies to the Janet. You know who you are. But I'm going to tell you, it's gorgeous, and your friends in the quilting world, thank you so much for your time. But look at this fabric. So, we cut some half-yard cuts. If you need a half yard of this, I'm going to strongly encourage you to get this. Look at that.
So pretty.
How pretty are those colors? This is called Phosphor, is the name of the line. It's from Libs Elliott.
Oh.
So Libs Elliott is a designer. We've talked about her before. Andover designer. Andover has some great designers. Juicy Juice, Libs Elliott, Allison Glass, Modern, bright, fantastic. Love them. That said, Libs does have some really cool fabrics that are going to be great backgrounds. Look at this one with this. How great is that?
Okay, but look at this one.
Look at that one with that. Now, the one in the picture that Sadie put out yesterday was Juicy Juice. I didn't bring that in here because we had 30 yards yesterday when that picture was taken. That picture was taken about 2 o'clock. I have less than 4 yards left on the bolt right now.
Girl, we closed at 4. What do you mean?
I know. I made so many cuts yesterday afternoon, and there was none smaller than 3 yards.
Oh my gosh.
Now, that said, there's a ton of other colors out there that are really great, would work really nicely with this, or just going to be great in general. But we put almost 200 bolts of fabric on the sales floor the other day. This was one of those lines. So I'm making cozy cuts of this right now. I'm actively making fat quarter bundles of this and mini cozy cuts of this.
Perfect.
So if you need some, look at that. This is Kelly's. You cannot have this. She's sitting over there right now waiting for me to sell it because she's going to murder me. No, this is Kelly's. She owns this. So sorry, you can't have this specific one. But if you need some of this fabric, you need to come in and you need to look at it all because, oh my golly, it's fantastic. Sorry, that was a bit of a tangent.
I don't think that was...
It wasn't too far out of the beaten path, right?
No.
So anyway, all right, so back to saying hellos and highs. Good morning, Teresa. Good to see you. Eileen says she'll see us later. Good. Look forward to that. Hello, Dolores. Southern Illinois represent. Good to see you on. As always, good to see you as well. Good morning, Pam. Coffee Talk. Victoria, yay.
Yay.
Yeah, there she is. Pam. Oh, there we go. Hold on. Happy spring break. Happy spring break.
Hey, thanks.
When I have one, maybe. I'm kidding, obviously.
I'm just saying, if you spend $20,000 to go back to school, they sometimes will give you a break, and it's so
just
great.
Made me a little panicky. Stop that. All right, moving on. Good morning, Patty. Good to see you on. Hello, Marianne. Hello. Fabric is beautiful, absolutely right, and it is fun fabric. Like I said, it's some really nice stuff. Really awesome. So make sure you guys come and check that. And Deb, over on the YouTubes, hello in Iowa. Good to see you there. I'm not in Iowa.
I wish I was in Iowa.
That's a nice state. Not too bad.
I hear good things.
I've been through it once.
Oh, that's cool. Good
I mean, that's my limited experience. I mean, I was there for like almost a month, and then I missed my flight home.
Oh,
I did. I was driving back. I was flying out of Omaha. There apparently is a time change between where I was in Iowa and Omaha, Nebraska. And I got there, and they're like, your plane left like an hour ago. I was like, oh. Oops. You got any other flights leaving today? They're like, yeah. And I got on one. It was fine. But anyway, it was learning experience. I learned to always pay attention to time zones when you're traveling for work. Good morning, Pat. Good to see you.
Morning.
Working on a baby quilt for a great granddaughter this morning. Ooh,
nice.
Congratulations. That's exciting. That'll be fun. All right, so a couple things to talk about before we go into the batting AI conversation. First and foremost, remember, it's March.
It is.
Still have St. Louis Metro Shop Hop going on.
Oh.
So if you haven't got out to do that yet, now's a great time.
You have like 10 days.
You
do. A little
do.
less than 10 days.
A little less than 10 days, like specifically 1 day less than 10 days.
Like 9 days.
And you also have Sundays in there, which most of the shops are not open on. So you have even fewer working days. Today is a great day. Go today. Visit the ones you can. Get them in there. You're going to love it. I've enjoyed meeting all the new people. It's been a fun time. I do look forward to seeing more folks over the next week. The prizes are fantastic. Oh my gosh. Our first week winner came in yesterday to pick up her prize. Or maybe it was second week. I don't know. Girl was a box of stuff, like fabrics and patterns and things like that. Also a box of fat quarters from QT Fabrics. It was so much. The prize bundles for the weekly prizes are fantastic.
That's awesome.
So go visit the shops that are participating. Get signed up for the weekly giveaways. Absolutely worth the time to at least do that.
Yeah.
Anyway, Karen is on the tarmac at Dallas-Fort Worth heading to Cozumel. Wow! Have a good time.
That'll be fun.
Nah, girl, leave the fabric alone. Go enjoy the weather. It'll be more fun. Hello, Patty. Also, good morning to you as well. Cozumel, man. Everybody
I don't
gets
even
a
know where
spring
that
break.
is.
It's in like Germany, I think.
Oh. Why would you lie to me
That was a fib.
in front of everyone?
In front of everybody, because it's fun.
Okay.
Okay. It's Mexico, I believe, is
Oh,
southern, south of the
okay.
equator-ish area. It's warm,
Oh, got it.
which is not so much this morning. It's chilly this morning.
Yeah.
She's not going to have that problem for a couple days.
No.
Sunscreen. Also, don't leave the resort. Drug cartels. Oh, goodness.
Going back to
Don't get yourself kidnapped. Don't do it. All right. Also, be aware. This is actually far more important. This is a very important conversation. Next Saturday. You know about next Saturday?
No. I do not.
Next Saturday is the last Saturday of the month.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. No, that's exciting. I don't know why you don't like it. I'm excited about it because that means show and tell. No, it's show and tell, dude.
Oh.
I have seen so many cool projects come through the door this last week and a half. I've asked every one of those people to bring their projects in to show them off.
Please.
And they've all said, okay. So I'm excited that you guys get to see what they've done. I'm excited to see what you've been working on. Doesn't mean it has to be the monthly mystery quilt.
Oh.
No, it does not.
No.
It means whatever you're working on. Are you crocheting a bag?
Hey, that's cool.
Bring it in and show it off.
Yup.
Are you working on some chainmail armor? Bring it in.
We're still waiting.
Still waiting. Hasn't happened yet. We're
One
waiting.
day.
That's right, Pam. See, Pam knew what it was. She's on top of
Yeah.
things.
Hey, and I'll
Pam
be
brings
there, too.
bags. I love when she brings, because she has so many different bags that she brings. It's fantastic. One of the Janet's team, she brought in some really cute towel things that she's made for her grandkids that have panels sewn onto them.
Oh.
So smart. Did you see them? You weren't here for that? Oh, you missed. I don't know if she'll do it again or not. I mean, if she does, she'll bring them, I hope. But otherwise, we did record those. They're on our videos. You can go back and watch last month's show and tell. Anyway, it's just really a good way to come in and see other people's stuff and see what's going on, get inspired. Also, next month's mystery quilt will be unveiled. That is being in process right now by the fearless, amazing, fantastic Kelly Rowland, the producer. Oh, it's cut. Oh, God. We're going to hope it's done by next weekend.
Like that.
But that said, mystery quilts only need to be the top flimsy. They don't have to be quilted and all that stuff. So that may be what we get. That's what it sounds like. She got time. She got a machine. We'll see how it goes.
7 days.
7 days.
Hey, and I'll be there too. So that's like show and tell in and of itself.
Right. Absolutely. So, all right. So be ready and aware and happy and excited for that. Much like Pam is.
Yes.
Thank you, Pam.
Thanks, Pam.
Okay. I feel like there's something else I'm forgetting, and I just realized that it's not in my notes.
It's in there as a question mark.
Yeah, that's a bad sign.
Yep.
It's bad.
It sure is.
Well, that's just going to be how it is today.
Oopsies.
All right. So I'm going to ask you while we're on camera because this always gets asked of me. So I'm going to
Why?
ask you.
Okay.
How are you doing? How's school going?
School's great.
Because I always get asked, how's Victoria doing?
Aw.
And I appreciate it. And I give the best answer I can, and that is, I think it's going well. We've changed majors. But
We have.
other than that, would you want to give an update since you're here?
Oh.
Tell us about school.
School's fine.
Yeah. How's dorm life?
I'm not living in a dorm next year.
Okay.
I
perfect.
don't love dorms
All right.
life. I am gonna really love apartment life. Maybe I'll hate it more.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Okay. Growing up, living on your own in buildings that you don't know, it's going to be a good time. Yeah.
With people I don't know.
Even more fun.
Woo!
Uh-huh.
I changed my major. I was a journalism major. I'm now secondary education ELA, so
Okay.
English
That's
and language arts. And that's really cool. Next semester I get to be in a classroom. I was in journalism. No shade to any journalists out there, but I took my first couple of journalism classes, and we were talking about the ethics, and they were like, yeah, you're gonna meet people who are having the worst days of their lives, and you're gonna ask them questions and have a camera in their face about the worst days of their lives. Also, you can't do anything about it. And I was like, no.
So you'd rather help people instead of making them figure out how to live their life
rather
through this
than
awful
telling their
tragedy?
story.
Okay.
It's a very important job.
It
I have a
is.
lot of respect for journalists now that I've taken journalism
I would have never
classes.
considered it that way, and that's wow.
But I was like, this makes
Okay.
me sad. So I'm no longer a journalism major.
Okay. Sounds
And I
good.
guess that's how they weed out the journalism majors, because I was talking to my friend who's also an education major,
Yeah.
and she's like, yeah, I know a lot of people who switched over from journalism to secondary ELA for that same reason. So I wonder if they do that on purpose.
I mean, possibly, but if you end up in a job where you thought we were going to do this type of journalism, and you end up doing that type, and it's like, oh, that's
right. And there's many other types,
Crying.
but the type that I wanted to do, that was the ethics of it. And I was like, I don't like that anymore, and I don't like any of the other types of journalism. They don't feel like me. So we're gonna not do that.
Okay.
I'm also on the speech and debate team.
Oh yeah, you do that
I
too?
was just voted to be the treasurer of the speech and debate team, so I'm in charge of all the finances of that, and I'm on the exec board, so now I have to make like big decisions on like what like tournaments we go to, and I make the schedule, and it's a lot of work all of a sudden. But it's great, and I'm excited about it. And that's how school's going.
It'll go wonderfully, I'm sure.
It will.
Okay. Well, that's good. Well,
I decided to put my name on the credit card, so this seems like this can't go wrong.
Ooh, good morning. Holy goodness. Okay, well, in school you learn words, and sometimes those words that you don't want to learn and understand is embezzlement.
Oh.
Let's not learn that word.
We won't be learning that word.
Okay.
We have a spreadsheet where we have to keep track of every expense ever, and if it doesn't line up with what's in the account, they get mad at me. So there is no
the real
embezzlement.
thing. You'll get in trouble.
I
Don't
know.
mess with that, man.
No, I know.
do
I
that.
know. Trust.
Anyway.
No embezzlement will happen. Me and the president have to work very closely together on everything to make sure neither one of us are embezzling money.
Yeah, please don't.
So.
Okay. Perfect.
Anyway.
Love it. All right. Good morning, Gail. Too long of a drive to come see you. When will the bridge open?
The
What
JB?
bridge? Gail, I need more information. You got me confuddled. I would love to know. I mean, I know they're working on the Chester Bridge, but I don't think you're that far south, are you? What bridge? Tell me more. Good morning, Pamela. Good to see you. And hello, Barb.
Hi.
Barb's going to be the owner of a brand new Skyline.
Yes.
It's coming. It's going to be here soon. I'm so excited for it. Sorry to tell your business, but I'm so excited when it's a cool machine. People need cool machines. Do you have a cool machine? Come see me.
Cool machine.
I got good prices going on right now.
That's what I'll use my embezzlement money for.
Yes. That's going to go so poorly. Worth jail time, right? I got a cool machine out of it. Nah, man.
I can't say this on the internet, guys. They're going to find
Stop
me. They're going to know.
Things like that. It does sound interesting, though. Isn't JB closed?
I just drove on it yesterday to come home, and it was open.
I'm going to say at this point, Miss Gail, I don't think so. But who's here that came across the bridge this morning? Sophia's here.
Yeah.
She came across the bridge, so and she was here in a timely fashion. So I'm going to say no. I think you're good.
Bridge is open.
Worst case scenario, you get to the bridge, you can't get across. Have you ever watched Dukes of Hazzard? Zoom. If they can make it, if Bo Duke can do it, you can do it.
You'll probably float.
No, just don't try to hit the water. Just go across the bridge. It'll
You gotta,
be
like,
just
skip.
fine.
If you don't quite make it.
It's so terrible. Stop it. Morning, Joyce from the lake house. Nice. And hello, Robin. Good to see you as well. She just picked up her new machine this week, too.
Yay!
I know, right? It's so much fun. I love it. Alrighty. So, Gail, we'll see us Tuesday then. Just cuz.
Yay!
Girl, not just cuz, because this. You need this in your life. Come see me. I'll get you set up. And good morning, Joni.
Morning.
Part 2 of Southern Illinois Represent.
Oh.
Yes, ma'am. Patty, they had a lane closed a couple days ago. Okay. Did not know that. I don't go across the bridge
I
often
didn't
enough.
know about that.
Learn a thing. Here you go. All right. So batting. We all use it. We love it. It's squishy. It's cuddly. It's fun.
Wonderful.
What do we got going on? Oh, so Pam's got some information. Oh, yeah. So 255 north of Columbia is under construction. Not the JB Bridge. It's between Cahokia and Highway 15. There are bypass routes that you can get around it just fine, but they close the whole thing down for the better because that stretch of road was awful.
I'm like trying to think of where that is. I'm lost.
Yeah, it's north of us. Like you go past Dupo, and then there's the Cahokia exit. That's where Captain D's is, and the Taco Bell. Yeah, that stretch of road for a couple miles is closed down. That road was, I don't know how, it wasn't even a road. It was becoming more like an off-road trail is what it was becoming. Anyway, anyway, yeah. So no, we're good. Come across the river. We're safe. We're happy. Aside from the 1-lane situation that happened.
Yeah.
We're fine. Good morning, Teresa. Good to see you as well.
Morning.
All right, so back to batting.
Back to batting.
I love batting. How can you not love batting?
I love batting.
Oh, well, then we all love batting then.
Okay,
Clearly we're all on the
great.
same page.
Well,
There's choices, there's options, there's things. What do you do? How do you choose one? Does it even matter?
yes.
Well, we asked AI.
Oh,
Specifically, I asked AI.
which AI?
Googly
Chat?
AI.
Oh, Googly AI?
Yeah, when you Google anything, it'll give you an AI summary of your answers of what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's great. Sometimes
It's really wrong.
it's swing and a miss.
It's a swing and a. You're playing the wrong
The
sport.
cool
Like,
thing, right, you were in the middle of a basketball game and you're swinging. Now, you can't do that.
Can't.
That's a penalty. Stop it. The thing is with AI, what it does, Googly AI will take that information, it'll compile all the search results, and it'll give you a result of what it figures is the best answer. What that means is people that post silly things out there, like you don't have to change your needle on your machine, but once every 6 months, becomes part of the answer. By the way, horrible decision. Unless you're sewing once every 6 months, then
Right.
that works out just fine. So, batting. Googly AI told me that yes, batting does matter. Choice matters. It can significantly impact a quilt's final look, feel, and performance. So it's important to consider factors like loft, material, quilting style when selecting batting. That was verbatim from Googly. Okay? So here's some more detailed breakdown of why batting choice matters. Let's see what it says and see if it's right.
sometimes my favorite part about Google AI, because, sometimes I have to look up answers when I'm like trying to get through my homework and whatever.
Mhm.
My favorite part is that it'll give me links. So I'm like, oh, then this must be legit. And I'll click on the link and the link tells me completely different information.
It's awesome, isn't it?
It's so funny.
It's really fun. So, number one, the thing to consider when it comes to batting and whether or not it matters is the loft and the warmth.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Doing well. Doing good.
Off to a good start.
Good start. Loft refers to the thickness or the fluffiness of the batting. For example, this is cotton. Oh, I'm sorry. Here you go. Would you like to show
I
it off?
do.
This is polyester. See the difference? Ta-da!
This one's like it's got a little, not much, but a little drape.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
poly we used to have would like stay flat on my hand.
Ew, yeah. This is a much nicer poly batting. We like this one a lot better. We'll talk about what brand here in a moment. But when it comes to loft, it will determine the depth. So it refers to the thickness and fullness of the batting. My opinion on it is that it also will determine how much of that quilting you're going to see.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at a quilt and you see the quilting in it, it has to do with the batting giving you the ability to see that.
Right.
You're quilting into polyester, which is nice and thin.
That's
You're
cotton.
not. What did I say?
Polyester.
I was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
When you quilt into cotton, it's nice and thin, so you might see some of the quilting, but it's not going to be really defined,
Yeah, it's not
which
gonna
is
stand
nice. Maybe you don't want that
Right.
that level of definition. Fluffy polyester, not cotton.
out. You gonna see that quilt.
You go see that quilting because it's not going to go anywhere. It's going to loft up underneath your fabric. It's going to be really cute. Do we have wool in here? I feel like
I
we
thought
have
so.
wool. Oh, there's wool. Wool is one of those ones that has some loft to it as well,
Mm-hmm.
which is really nice.
Yeah.
Again, depending on what you're looking for. We'll talk about that here in a moment. So loft, really important. The warmth conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Warmth. Different materials offer varying levels of warmth. Cotton and wool tend to be warmer than polyester. I disagree with this statement.
Yes.
That's the swing and the miss part of AI, in my opinion. And I could be wrong. I would love to hear your opinions. Please feel free to join me in the chat and tell me your opinions on these things.
Mm-hmm.
So, in my experience,
Mm-hmm.
and I put this to a actual real lifetime usage, we have on our bed at home, me and Danielle, have a quilt that has wool batting.
Yes.
Wool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tell you right now, this is a year-round quilt.
Yeah.
Yes, I keep my house at 62 degrees in the summertime. So it works out really well
He
having a
likes to
quilt.
keep it cold in the house.
I am a fan of cold because I have blood running through my veins, so therefore I stay generally warm.
That must be nice.
It is great, actually. But wool does really well in breathing and helping to keep you temperature controlled.
The wool breathes.
Wool jackets, wool coats, things made of wool typically tend to wick moisture away and kind of help keep you comfortable. I like wool batting, so I wouldn't say that it's generally hotter. It's generally better for temperature control.
Yeah.
My understanding, and for my Southern folks watching, please correct me if I'm wrong, I have been told that Southern folks like wool batting because of its ability to wick moisture away and breathability and for all the temperatures that are out there. This is what I've been led to believe. Am I right?
I don't know.
How do you not know? I thought you educated.
I'm from the... I am educated on how to educate others.
Oh.
Barely.
Getting there.
So...
cotton, also being a natural fiber, also breathes well, and it does a really good job of keeping you warm. A lot of people love cotton batting just because it's very natural. Love it. My thoughts on warmth with poly batting, and I think poly, the reason for somebody to mention that it might be not as warm is there are different thicknesses of poly batting.
Right.
Have you ever seen a really thin poly batting?
No.
We've had them. Yeah, I mean, like, you can see through it. Like, I can't imagine that holds anything, let alone warmth.
Yeah.
So, you get a little bit of loft texture to it, but like something like this is Quilter's Dream. It's got a nice lofty space to it. All those little pockets of air in between there are going to hold all that body heat in. I have a feeling this is going to hold heat a whole lot better than something that's nice and thin. Not that this won't do a job, but like, this just makes me feel hot thinking about it.
Yep.
So, warmth is an important thing to figure. Know who you're gifting this to.
Right.
If you give me a quilt with polyester batting, I'm going to say thank you. And I'm going to let it hang up somewhere in my house to show off that I got it. But I won't use it.
Pretty quilting.
Because I will sweat to death in my chair. And I don't want to go that way.
No.
And it's definitely not going to be running. I won't go that way either. Because I don't run.
I don't.
No. So, polyester. I would disagree with the not as warm. Because I would say polyester makes me hot thinking about it. So, thank you for being wrong, AI. You proved my point.
It tends to be a lot of the more natural fibers tend to be a lot better at keeping you, like, temperature regulated. I don't want to say cool. But,
Right.
like, not... It doesn't trap heat. I have found that 80-20, which is this here, for all of my friends at home, also tends to be warmer than when I have a quilt with, like, cotton or wool or bamboo.
Yeah. Because you have that polyester that's in it. That's getting a little bit more warmth to it. So
it's all that man-made stuff keeping me too hot.
But if I grew a plant, does that mean I made it? Does that make it man-made?
No. The ground made it.
Okay, I tried.
Environment.
So, considerations regarding loft and warm. AI says, if you want a warm, puffy quilt, choose a higher loft batting like polyester or wool. I'm pretty sure it just contradicted itself. Thank you, AI. You're awesome. Did. For a lighter, flatter quilt, opt for a low loft batting like cotton.
Well, yes.
Okay. Solid considerations, AI. Almost nailed it.
Other than the fact that you just...
Yeah, completely lied to yourself. So, loft does matter. It does depend on what kind of effect you're going for with your quilt. Loft matters. So consider those things. Also, do yourself a favor. You got a 20-something you're making a quilt for? Don't give them wool. Look, sometimes wool needs to be treated differently. Maybe you don't want to take it out of the washing machine and throw it in the dryer. I want you to raise your hands if you have a 20-something that properly laundries. Right. Hey, nobody in this room got their hand raised. So wool, not the best option. It breathes really well, but make sure you're giving that to somebody that's going to take care of it properly.
Don't give me a wool quilt. I ain't got no way to wash it.
You got a dorm laundry. Yuck. No.
The dryer burned one of my, like I bought, like, a cheap quilt because I didn't want to use any of my nice quilts. Because my dorm was dirty, because all dorms are dirty, and it burned a little spot on my fake quilts. And there's a big old black spot on my white quilt.
That's awful. I'm sorry to hear that.
It's more like a comforter than a quilt. It's not real.
Okay. Probably shouldn't tell people that you bought a non-quilty quilt when you work at a quilt shop.
No, I understand. It's because I have a love and appreciation for quilts, and I didn't want any of my gross friends to touch my quilt with their dirty outside clothes.
Okay, that's fair.
And I don't have, like, a tub to, like, hand wash them in or anything, and I have to just trust that the dorm washers are going to do what I need them to do. Nah.
Okay. Fair enough.
And I don't come home enough to wash them at home, so...
True. Okay, fair enough. Appreciate that. Thanks for the input.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, so continuing on with AI's opinion on batting quality, or does batting matter? Batting does matter for material and properties.
Yes.
So we've kind of been discussing this already.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so there's different types of batting.
Yeah.
Right? You've got cotton. Here. Cotton is known for its softness, breathability, and ability to absorb moisture, making it a good choice for summer quilts and for those who prefer a cooler feel. Again, natural fibers. Gonna be a much better summer or generally seasonal quilt. Gonna work out really well.
Mm-hmm.
Also thin. Not gonna be as heavy.
Right.
Okay? Polyester. Good durability. I'm gonna tell you right now, absolutely.
Yeah.
You want a quilt that's gonna take some beatings and be fine? Polyester.
Yeah.
Right? Resilient, resist shrinking, kind of a huge point to take into consideration. Right? Making it a popular choice for quilts that we wash frequently or used in colder climates. Again, a lot more warmth, a lot less to worry about shrinking, just resilient as all get out. Poly, not a bad option, but maybe you don't want that.
Right.
That's okay. We talked about wool. It provides excellent warmth. It does have loft. It's not near as lofty as our poly batting sometimes, but there are thin polys, so it's very close to that. It can be expensive and may require specialized care.
Yes.
Very important, when you buy any batting,
Mm-hmm.
you really should read the paperwork that comes with it. It will tell you how close to quilt together, and we'll talk about that in a minute, and how to maintenance your quilt with that batting.
Mm-hmm.
Generally, you don't want to take a quilt and throw it in a dryer on high heat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, don't do that.
Or a fake quilt.
It might leave burn spots on your fake quilt, and so I don't even want to know what it does to my real quilts. So
Probably nothing because it's real cotton, so it does just fine.
but I don't want to mess around and find out.
Let's not find out. But with wool, especially, wool has a tendency to want to shrink.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's pre-shrunk, depending on the brand. I believe the ones that we have, I think, may have been pre-shrunk. I feel I read on the paperwork. I could be mistaken on that. Don't take my word for it. But
we'll
be
double check
mindful of
that
that.
if you want wool.
I mean,
you purchase from us.
I guess.
Oh.
Kelly will. Thanks, Kelly.
Thanks, Kelly.
But know what you're getting into before you get it and put it in that quilt. So that way you can gift that quilt and say, hey, please don't just take it out of the washing machine and throw it right in the hot dryer for 4 hours. Please don't do that. Right? It's always smart to be aware of what you got. Let's see here. As far as blends are concerned, blends meaning your 80-20. Very important to be considering of these. Polyester and cotton blends, often a balance of properties, combining softness of cotton with the durability of polyester.
Yes.
You're right. Thank you, Google AI.
Did a great job.
That. I have to say, regarding 80-20, it's probably one of the most common battings that we sell.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, price point, it seems to always be the most reasonable in price.
Yeah.
I believe that compared to 100% cotton, you're almost like $4 more per yard to have the cotton over the 80-20. So if the 20% polyester doesn't offend you, it's a really good option.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a gifty project.
Yeah.
80-20 will work out just fine. Feel free to do that. Other options are your silk, your bamboo, other natural fibers, offering unique qualities like softness and hypoallergenic properties. Okay?
There's silk batting?
There is silk batting. I have heard of it. I heard it's kind of great, actually. We don't have any yet. Does Quilter's Dream offer silk batting? I haven't looked at that card in a while. I have heard of it. This was a conversation. I think I had it not that long ago.
I think Debbie's used it.
Debbie's used it before? Okay. I don't know. I've never myself had a chance and opportunity to try silk batting, so I don't really know what to expect from it. I do feel it was a fun conversation, whoever I had the conversation with. If it was you, let me know, because I don't remember anymore. But regarding bamboo,
I love bamboo.
I am a big fan of bamboo batting.
Big fan.
Now, bamboo is wildly expensive. If you get 100% bamboo, we have it on the roll.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, is it 20?
It's like
$20.99 a yard for bamboo.
You have to touch it. Like, I need you to hear.
It is so...
Touch it.
Yes. Go ahead, feel through your screen. It'll be great.
Thanks.
See how smooth it is? It's lovely.
It's wonderful.
As I swipe to some other video. Bamboo, we have it as a 50-50 blend. So it's cotton and poly, or half 50 cotton, 50 bamboo, which makes that actually a bit more price appropriate. It's a little more on par with the cotton.
Right.
The nice thing about the 50-50 blend of bamboo and cotton is that it's still lighter than the cotton and lighter than 80-20. So if you're looking for a quilt that overall feels lighter, maybe a summer quilt, maybe you're going to have a couple of like thicker materials, maybe a flannel and, you know, maybe a t-shirt quilt or something like that, but you still want a batting in there, bamboo is a really good option for that, especially that 50-50 blend, because it will reduce the weight of that quilt as opposed to what you have with your 80-20.
Yes.
Okay. Eileen loves bamboo, has used bamboo and wool together.
Oh.
Yes, absolutely. So if you're trying to do a quilt and you really want some relief to really pop on your quilting, sometimes doubling up on your batting works really well to do that. Typically when we do that, we'll use a thinner batting, such as 80-20 or cotton, and then pair that with wool or bamboo.
That's what it looked.
Wool or poly. That's what I meant to say.
Oh.
But yeah, what you've done there is wonderful. You could absolutely do that. No, you don't want to put two polys together. That's a lot. What are you doing?
I don't know. I was trying to demonstrate what you were saying.
There you go. Like this and this. So that thin layer gives you structure, and then your puffy batting sits on top of that and gives your relief to the front more than to the back, which really makes it pop up off the quilt. Okay, love it. Good story. Glad we were able to have this conversation.
So great.
I do have a quilt that was done with bamboo. I'm a big fan of it. I don't always want the weight. It's nice to not have it. Moving on. The last point, I think it's the last one. Oh, no. Oh, there's other points. Oh, my gosh. There's so much information here. When it comes to your quilt, your batting considerations. Quilting style and distance. We talked about this a moment ago.
Yes.
Distance is very, very important. Has anybody ever seen a quilt that was super loosely quilted, and when they washed it, and that batting balled up inside of those pockets of large open space? Who has seen that?
If not.
I have. Somebody put a picture of it. I think it was the Young and Millennials a few weeks ago.
Oh, no.
Oh, it was so sad. She had done really large stitch, like kind of almost ditch type work, and there was these large open pieces, and she washed it, and everything inside goes whoop and shifted. It was so sad. It was so sad. I think she ended up just kind of taking everything out and fixing it again, because I don't know what else you can do at that point.
Right. Yeah.
So it is very important to know how closely you need to quilt so that your batting does not shift in your quilt. Okay.
Right.
So AI, by way of it working as well as it does, if it has a scrim, it can allow for wider quilting, meaning go from 8 to 12 inches of space between. So scrim is a interfacing that the fibers are punched into to give stability to that batting. Okay. There's not a scrim here on this here polyester. So if you go 8 to 12 inches on this and you wash it and launder it, guess what? It's going to pull apart and it's going to separate. It's going to be a rough go. So don't do that. Scrim's a little more forgiving because you have that structure, that stability, right? If you don't have it, 3 to 4 inches is the recommended generally. So 3 to 4 inches, take your palm, put it on your quilt. If you're not touching any quilting at all, you're too far apart.
That's a problem.
It's not going to work out for you, okay? We usually use that method with all the quilts that we do. We don't like to have large open spaces unless requested. And even then, so long as you have the right batting, we'll do it. But have the right amount of quilting. You will thank yourself later for it.
Yeah.
Hand quilting versus machine quilting. This is that style portion of the conversation. If you're hand quilting, I've never hand quilted.
I have not.
But my understanding is hand quilters don't much care to go through scrim.
Oh.
Because it's an extra layer of interfacing, it's an extra layer of material, which can be a little bit more difficult to get through, which can be kind of annoying.
Yeah.
Which is fair. So, what you don't want to do, if you're going to hand quilt, that 80-20 that you love so much, if it has a scrim, because it probably does, you're not going to want that. You'll be sad. Now, there are battings, cottons, and things like that that are available without scrim. Ask the question so that you get the right stuff. Okay? If you're going to sew it on your domestic machine, if you're going to sew it with a long arm, these machines don't care.
No.
They will add you to the project.
Yes.
So they don't really care about scrim
Nah.
or batting style.
Eh.
So be mindful of those things. Keep your hands out of the needles. It's a bad idea. Okay? Considerations for number 3. If you plan to quilt densely, choose a batting that can withstand the quilting stitches or opt for a batting with a scrim. I don't know how to feel about that one.
I mean, I don't think we've ever had a problem.
Quilting densely?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With any batting.
Again, AI. Yeah, that was a weird one for him. I don't have much to say on that. It was very odd, but that's okay. Mostly, though, at this point, AI is doing really well.
Mm-hmm.
I would say 4 out of 5. We're good. We're good so far. That's a passing grade, right? All right, final thoughts and other factors to consider when choosing your batting. Shrinkage. Most battings, again, on their packaging paperwork, will tell you what amount of shrinkage you can expect from your batting. Okay? So it is important to know what you're dealing with. Battings like cotton can shrink more than others, so it's important to consider this when choosing a batting for a quilt that will be washed. All right, so be mindful of these things. If it shrinks up to 5% and your quilt fabric was washed and been pre-shrunk, well, it's all going to shrink because your batting's going to shrink some. I don't pre-wash my fabrics.
Me either.
Mostly because I just want to get it done.
Mostly I'm not patient enough.
Pretty much is what it comes down to.
Not a doctor.
But no patience.
None.
At all. So be mindful of those things. If you're going to get a batting, know what your shrink rate is that you're dealing with. Plan accordingly. I have heard of people taking their battings and throwing them in dryers just to kind of help shrink them up some. I've not done this. Have you ever done this, Kelly? No? Has anybody out there done this? Sometimes I feel like a lot of these things are urban legends that people have said, oh yeah, my friend does that. But
and
nobody's ever had
real.
that friend.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I would love to know if anybody has actually ever pre-shrunk a batting.
Yeah.
Let me know. Please, please, please. The other thing to consider, drape. As you pointed out earlier, your poly batting doesn't drape real well.
Yeah.
Versus your natural fibers drape real nice. Think puffy winter coat versus sweatshirt. You know, which effect are you going for?
Yeah.
If you're going for that really cool puffy look, cool. If you're not, get the right one.
Yeah.
All right. Next thing you want to consider is batting prices. They can vary significantly depending on the material, loft, and quality.
Yes.
Yes. Not all battings are created equally. Not all brands are the best brand to have. I will say this. If you are getting 2 yards of cotton versus 2 yards of bamboo blend, and there is a $3 difference per yard because you're buying it off the roll, you're only going $6 more for the cotton batting. What difference does that make? If you think about it, how much material have you put into that quilt?
Right. How much money and time and
How much
labor.
time and effort have you put into it? Why would you skimp on the batting? Don't skimp on the batting, guys. Just don't do that. Like, again, I do these math numbers all the time, and it just doesn't make sense to go the cheapest route possible, especially with the batting. Just don't do it. Same with your thread. You've spent all the money on the quilt top and all your time putting this all together. Make it worth your time.
Right.
Make it worth the person getting its time. Okay? But do consider cost. Be mindful of those things. And last but not least, it says personal preference. So it says it matters. Then it says, ultimately, the best batting for your quilt is the one that best suits your needs and preferences. So consider all these things, but do what you want.
But don't.
Just do whatever you want.
Actually, just, you know.
Now, I have to say, that does kind of encompass my whole philosophy of there's no rules in quilting. Do whatever makes you happy. So kind of the same concept. But if you were unsure what type of batting is going to work best for you in your situation, I think it did a fairly good job of summarizing what to consider. So it's not wrong. It's just AI. It did its best.
It's never made a quilt before.
It hasn't. It's just a computer.
It doesn't know the difference between warm and cold.
It doesn't?
No.
I mean...
It has never felt warm or cold. It's a computer.
You're making it sound like a monster.
Well, it kind of is.
It kind of is.
Right.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, okay. Well, that's really the best things that I can tell you when it comes to considering batting. I think it is a real conversation. I really think it's important to look and consider these things. Think about them. Do your best with it. If you don't know what you need, come in and ask us. We're here. We're here today. We have beautiful fabric that needs some batting.
Probably.
The only other thing that I just now realized that it did not bring up is color.
Oh, it did not.
Yeah.
And that's big.
It's actually gigantic huge.
Yes.
Because let's say that you have a quilt that has whites, tone on tone white. Okay. You want the last thing you want to do is
put a cream batting.
Put a cream batting under it.
It's gonna look dingy and dirty.
It's gonna look dingy right off the bat. That's not great. White bleached battings, awesome, because it's gonna keep it nice and bright. So,
now, if you have a black quilt, if you have a black quilt that's got a lot of black backgrounds or anything like that, the last thing you want is a bleached batting, because when I go over that with my long arm, it's gonna poke through.
Possibly. It's called bearding.
Well, yes, but also like when you hold it up like to a light, you could see it through, even if it doesn't beard, even if it does everything perfectly the way it's supposed to, it could still come through.
It could.
And so then you want a black batting.
Black battings are a good option, especially for really dark quilts. Bearding be a real conversation. That's where the batting is pushed through the backside of your quilt. That could be because of the batting material itself not having a scrim. It could be because of a dull needle just pushing the fabric through the backside. It could be a looser weave with the backing, allowing that material to come through. Use a black batting, you're not going to see that poking through on your black back. Right? So, again, color choice is important just as much as anything.
Yeah.
Not always the most common thing. More often than not, you can get away with the cream tones. They work just fine.
Right.
But make sure you think about that before you grab that random batting off the shelf.
Right.
Also, can you Franken batting?
Yes.
You were hesitant about that.
Are you able to? Is it possible? Yes.
Is it fun?
Is it fun?
Yes.
Oh.
I love making crazy things. It's great.
It's
fun. I would.
I will Franken.
So for Franken battings, for those of you who are like, what did this guy just say? Franken batting. This is where you have scraps of fabric from other projects. Large pieces that you really want to use up because I'm tired of them sitting in that pile and I'm going to eventually use them someday. You can zigzag batting together. Bloop, butt them up. Do a zigzag stitch across there and make them one batting. The fun thing is that once that is inside of a quilt, you know who's going to see that?
Nobody.
There's interfacing tape that you can use to kind of help create that seam also, which is just using a hot iron.
Yeah.
The one thing I would strongly encourage you to do, keep quality and type together.
Right.
So don't use 80-20
and poly
with your poly. You're going to be real disappointed with that result. It's going to be weird looking. But
I think we should do that with a Halloween quilt.
Just have like a 80-20 poly cotton bamboo kind of like across the board.
And we call it the Franken quilt.
The Franken quilt.
Just so you can see what that would look like if you were to do that way.
Actually, don't hate that idea.
Yes.
Huh. Kelly?
I think it'd be fun.
Good luck. Oh, she gonna do the quilting? Okay.
Hey.
All right. Kelly's like, nah, man, you deal with it. Anyway, yes, you can Franken batting. You can put scraps together. It absolutely works. Again, keeping in mind all the other components of that conversation.
Yes.
Actually, probably the most cost-effective way of doing it because using up all the scraps that you already paid for.
Right.
So.
For sure.
Anyway.
I just don't have the patience, and I'll just get a new one. Like,
ooh, must
that's
be nice.
me.
Same girl. Okay. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, with that all said, I don't think I have anything else to talk about on batting. Do you have anything to add on batting over there, Kelly? No? Are you got anything you want to add on batting? You love batting. It's
I
the
do.
Best. I think we're going to call it good. I'm going to go out. I got to cut some more fabric off of this lovely line here.
Yes.
You need this.
You
Come
do.
get some. This is called Phosphor by Libs Elliott. It's on the website. Go order yourself some. You're going to love it. You can't have that one. That's Kelly's. Anyway, we're hoping 11 to 4 today.
Yup.
Next weekend, show and tell.
Sure
Make
is.
sure you're here at 9:15 a.m.
Be
Come
here.
on in the doors. We'll get you ready and we'll show up your stuff. And if you don't have a project, come here anyway. You can come in and see them. You don't have to have a project.
Be inspired.
Be inspired. That's the whole point of it.
We
All
like
right.
having a large live studio
We
audience.
do enjoy the live studio audience. So, all right, I'm done. Are you good over there?
Mhm.
All right, we're going.
Bye.
Bye.